Hello everyone, and we are here for the Sundrop Cup Series final test of the offseason here at the Daytona International Speedway. The first time that the Cup cars will be taking to the super speedway races. And we have 35 drivers here. We have just above 40, I believe, for the actual race, the Sundrop 500 entry list. So mostly all of the teams are out here trying to get that practice in before the speed weeks truly begins. Two drivers almost colliding there on pit road, Carson Bowers and the 30 of Kev Shearer. You see the 8 of Eli Bright pulling out as well. So a lot of these guys were in the last test, the truck test earlier on today. Nicky Morris, the first driver getting out onto the track. And the same thing goes for this. Basically, don't worry about lap times because the lap times only matter because of draft. Really, even if you have the strongest car out there, if you're a single car, you're going to get passed by the draft anyway. So it's just how you work inside that draft that will show how much speed you have. And these guys getting out in some groups, couple guys getting out with 2 people, 3 people even, as Nicky Morris is the first one to set a lap time. Most likely, as this Speed Weeks is starting to shape up and entries are starting to be confirmed, we might not have anyone go home for the Crown Royal 300. So teams like JRL Racing, the TSR 8, the 30 SBR car, HBP here at this test, some of those guys don't have to worry about trying to race their way in because it could be an assured position if they do make it, because Daytona races, Daytona always the first race of the season, the biggest race of the season, so they have the biggest fields of 42 cars in trucks and cup, and 40 run in the Mountain Dew Custom Series as opposed to their 35 car entry fields. So you got Reed in the 1, Carter Friesen in the 85. They're trying to tandem around now Zachary DeLello and the 72 of Alex Fletcher. Smart Motorsports did not plan to bring any cars to this testing session, fearing for super speedway damage. But since Alex Fletcher does need to run a test to be eligible for super speedway racing on the highest level of the NSDCA, he is here in this number 72 trying to get his experience in, get his certification fulfillment so he can run the Sundrop 500 this season. Other cars in the field, Mikey Yamakaze. This is an R&D car for Butcher Gatorade Motorsports. And, of course, Yamakaze got gifted to BGM from SBR in their new alliance for the MDCS number 01. So as he and Kukulon do a draft train around the 28, which is Riley Spurley Tube during this test, these guys all out here having a blast right now. Running out, and you got a 2-car tandem between Colton Lane and DJ Curtis. Lane not running in the Cup race here. He's running in the trucks, but I believe he also does need a certification for super speedway, so that's why he is in this car, and he is tandeming up right now with 3-time CRTS winner DJ Curtis. He's actually going to make a move to the inside of Curtis. Now, these cars run similar to the trucks. They have about the same BHP, base horsepower, in the cars. Same, similar engines. Of course, the bodies are different, and some other parts of it are different, but these cars are just a little bit slower because the teams have not been able to get those upgrades on these cars yet. So this could be a different looking Daytona race compared to the Crown Royal Truck Series race. They're a bit faster in the CRTS. We'll see, especially when they get up to speed in the draft. The fastest trucks ran about a 44.6 second lap time in the draft. So we'll have to see how fast the draft is for these cars. But this could be different. You could be driving different. There could be more grip at a little bit slower of speeds as they pace on around. Currently, the fastest car on track, Eli Bright. And there goes the 77 of Diego Yepes. He's at the back already of a big pack starting to form. 7 cars there, and there's a spin. There's been smoke. Someone's been in the wall or spun out. Maybe Austin Johnson, but there was smoke down there as we were talking about that big pack. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at that. I don't know what could have happened here, but there is skid marks leading from the outside wall down here in turn number 1. So we're just going to go ahead and figure out what happened there. Probably some incident. And it's the 72. That is not good at all for Smart Motorsports, not wanting to get in here. Too wide coming down through here. Anderson Reed's on the inside. 72's up on the outside here. And it looks like they're going to get into the corner. His car blows up. The expires on the 72, and he hits into the outside wall, and it goes spinning around on him. Almost hits Jacob Edson, but damage, problems, and engine failure on the 72 immediately for the Smart Motorsports entry of Alex Fletcher. And we did say last season the Crown Royal 300 was clean and green the whole way. The duels, though, there was one duel that had a massive pileup, and it was because someone blew up in the middle of the pack. This track and these guys are so good, they can make it clean 40 laps here at Daytona. However, if someone blows up in front of them, that's a massive checkup, and there's basically nowhere to go when you're in the middle of a pack. And that's heartbreaking for the 72, so hopefully we can get those errors fixed out, those mechanical failures fixed out during the race. We had two earlier today, one with the engine blowing on the 27 of Bobo Jones, and one with the engine blowing on the 17 of Ethan Head. That's who it was. There they go, coming on down. Jose Perez, or no, that's Dwayne Rockefeller. Gatlin Downey said that he did not want to test here in the 35 because he did not want to risk being injured again, like he was at Watkins Glen. He did not want to end up missing part of the season, so he put Dwayne Rockefeller, who needs to test for his entry in the Johnson Performance number 51. He needs to test out here to get his certification. A driver who has never actually driven an NSDCA sanctioned race, only in 2 tests or 3 tests before this. So I don't know how he's even allowed to run the Sundrop 500 already, but there's no rule saying against it. So we'll have to just wait and see how good he does in that JP 51. But since Austin Johnson wanted to drive the 51, Gatlin Downey stepped out of the 35, let Kyle Corbett put Dwayne Rockefeller in the 35 car. 7 cars right here in a line. You got Dusty Neal and Eli Bright at the back of that as Carson Bowers and Dwayne Rockefeller fight Diego Yepes and Ryan Butcher on that inside line. Now Neal jumps back down to the inside as Alex Beniaco continues right now, or not Alex Beniaco, Kev Shearer is in the 30 this time around. He continues out in front. Jeffrey Finguy has found his satellite team owner there, Jay Jefferson, of course, Finguy for Evernham this season in the 79 MDCS, getting a ride here for the test. No confirmation on if Evernham is entering either the Sundrop 500 or Crown Royal 300, but these tests, they put the 02 and 79 out with Jeffrey Finguy. That could be showing something there for that team. There you see now two brand new team, Tony Zhang Motorsports. Never has driven in the NSDCA yet. They missed out on the last test because Noah Kim was in the 51 instead of the 75. This is the first time they are out on track, and it's a brand new team to the NSDCA. Nice to see that new teams are popping up and jumping into the Cup Series, filling out that field. Teams going for a full-time run, but not with a full-time driver. They have multiple drivers lined up, including Cody Smart for the Crown Royal 300, as well as some other drivers. I forget the other drivers, but they do have multiple drivers in the 75 for this season. Jay Jefferson just got passed on the outside by 2 guys. That's interesting there. 4-car pack up here as Eric Monaco has joined back onto the pack. He's right now the slowest on track, but that's probably because he hasn't had a lap with Draft yet, as he's going to come around, I believe, starting his first lap right here. Stephen Wallace Jr., Peter Onjak, Jacob Edson right on the back of that. And Edson has to be happy in that 82, finally in a car that's competitive. Last 2 times he was out for testing have been with Simtech Racing Incorporated. It's number 32, and he was one of the slowest in truck testing, most likely because of that equipment. Right now trying to put down a fast lap time. He's 15th quickest so far for SBR. Top of charts is Matthew Eves, and no surprise there that Matthew Eves is on the top of the charts. If we can go find that CFRO number 47, and oh my gosh, this is a pack right here. There is a big pack of cars. Looks like 8 or 9 deep as they are all coming through turn number 1. You got 6 on the inside, leaving Bobo Jones out to dry, and 2 right off the back of that. So no wonder Eves is putting down a fast lap. As well, the 06, that's Jose Perez. He put down the fastest lap in Truck Series testing. He now is 3rd quickest for HBP, most likely because he's in the draft. But look at this group of cars. These guys are definitely testing to see how these cars handle in the pack. And right now, you got Porta and Bobo Jones Jones on the outside. Nicky Morris is going to come into this pack, and now we got a lot of cars, but Matthew Eves, we were talking about him, fastest on track so far, and that is no surprise for a super speedway driver of his caliber. Daytona has not been the lucky super speedway for him, but Talladega sure has. 2 race wins, his 2 career wins coming at the Talladega super speedway back-to-back seasons in season 3 MDCS and into season 4 of the CRTS. He's right now in this pack trying to get everything he can as Nicky Morris is going to go up there and block him. Choose him as the line to block as he merges into this pack. But Eves loves the super speedways. SBR's plate program, of course, Shade Eves, part of that ownership. Happy to see that they have some speed out here in this testing session with the 83 of Ryan Butcher and the 30 of Alex Benyako inside the top 10. Eves in this 47 for CFRO, looking for big things this season, and has said multiple times on Twitter about him going out and winning this Sundrop 500 because he knows he has the speed for it. Now he just has to make sure that he can actually go win it this season, getting some testing done here. Austin Johnson in the 51 as they go 3 wide. The 27, I think, was forced onto the apron there and had to check up everyone as Austin Johnson got there. I believe the 05 might have had an issue too as the 7 and 20 have left that group. So that big group of 10 drivers has now split in half, split into thirds. And Austin Johnson in this 51, Johnson Performance making a big leap from Mountain Dew Custom Series only now to the Sundrop Cup Series. Happy to see them out here trying it this year. They are also going full-time, but not with the same driver in the SDCS number 51. Porta going back and forth with Nicky Morris. Nicky running just part-time this year for JRL Racing after leaving Rockstar Energy Racing and that management from last season, starting his new team back up once again. So we'll see how JRL will do. They have a Molson modified car. I believe they now have an MDCS car in that number 1 that was given to them by Reed Racing. So now just getting a couple cup races in, trying their best to get some funding going. Got some sponsorship for this year for all 7 races, I believe, that they're running. So nice to see Nicky out there in that number 7. And HBP now has announced that they are going to run 5 races this year, trying to secure sponsorship for the other 4. Mav TV is on the car for the Sundrop 500, but other than that, they are unsponsored, hoping to see some sponsorship go on to a long-time favorite team of the drivers in the DPDS and MMS, hoping that HBP will be able to continue their run into the Cup Series, possibly pull off something this year. With everyone being equal, they do have a shot at really racing in and winning this Sundrop 500. Austin Johnson, Nicky Morris trying to make that outside line work as he got 8 lined up on the inside through the corner, but they were running basically the middle line there. Now they're going to abandon him as Colton Lane in the 05 jumps up to the outside. A fun pack of 10 right there. Nice to see them all racing, and Colton Lane going to make a big move to the inside of the 06 as they swap lanes, and now Nicky Morris jumps to the inside. So these guys getting racy up here. I think this is the pack you want to be in if you're trying to test because, as we said, qualifying and duels might not matter this year with no one going home, so you might just want to get that race pace and race practice in, trying to make some moves here, seeing how the cars handle in a big pack like this 10-car group as they are all racing there. Couple guys out the back, the 28 and 12 on a 2-car tandem. Another second pack is formed. Couple BGM, the BGM duo there, the 01, the 55 in that as well. It looked like Anderson Reed at the back of that. You got Tony Zhang Motorsports' number 75 with Noah Kim now starting to drop back. Carson Bowers, the defending Crown Royal Truck Series champion, and Zachary DeLello, the defending CR300 champion in the CRTS, up here as well, as now they're all trying to work their way around Noah Kim in that 75. DeLello went to the bottom, now to the middle, now to the top, now almost squeezed by Brandon there in that 55. So DeLello all over the place trying to work his way past as this pack got slowed up there. And Brady Burkhart, last season's Crown Royal 300 pole sitter, he's there in that 99 as well in this pack, and Mikey Yamakaze as there is there too. 6 cars back here. You got Casey Mears, Stephen Wallace Jr., Eric Monaco up front with Kev Shearer, Edson, and Foster back there, and those 6 drivers right there. As we are only halfway through the session, a lot of stuff has happened so far. Jefferson and Finn Guy running together alone. Jay Jefferson, 35th quickest. The first time ever that this late into a testing session, Jay has been the slowest on track. That's nice to see for the fans that are very upset with TSR this year, to see them possibly dominating the Crown Royal Truck Series. Dusty Neal, Dwayne Rockefeller, Diego Yepes, Eli Bright in this pack, with the 83 of Ryan Butcher just off of the back of it as they pace on around as well. Coming down here, Peter Onjak coming off pit road, and there's that big pack of 10 again. They're starting to get racy, 2 and 3 wide up here, as now Colton Lane's going to drop back on the outside. DJ Curtis flies inside in front of Austin Murray. Nicky Morris in this, so a great battle happening up here. Fans that came out to see the off-season testing here at Daytona letting to see a show out here at Daytona. 15 minutes left in this testing session. Not much to say, but some entertaining pack racing here, so we'll take a look through the grid as they run right now. Matthew Eves fastest, no surprise there. Diego Yepes also second fastest. Great to see Yepes back in some competitive equipment since it is all equal. He moves to Butcher Gatorade Motorsports, looking to go back to his dominance this year. Third quickest is that 06 of Jose Perez. Nice to see Perez getting some extra testing time here in those Cup cars, as Kev Shearer is going to pull off of this pack. There as well. There is the big pack that we'll keep our eyes on. And a second big pack, actually, that we'll keep our eyes on. 8 cars in this blanket here. Fourth quickest being Ryan Butcher. Great to see that SBR plate program actually coming out and doing something in this truck testing. Fifth quickest, Eli Bright. That's an R&D car for Texas Star Racing just for this race, since the NSDCA is giving out a free R&D car to any team that wants to run the Sundrop 500. Sixth quickest, DJ Curtis. Seventh quickest, Dwayne Rockefeller. Let's go ahead and find him real quick. That's not him. I think he's in that. He's in this pack right here. And seventh quickest so far. That's nice speed for Dwayne. Having some great opportunities here for GDI to get some practice in for this Sundrop 500, and possibly a better car than he will be in that 51. But seventh quickest so far for a guy who has never driven at a super speedway before. Nice to see his speed out there as he's running around in this pack. Casey Mears, eighth quickest after he spun his car out off of the back of Antoine Smith in Crown Royal Truck Series testing. Ninth quickest is Bobo Jones. Happy to see after that engine failure in truck testing as well. Colton Lane sits 10th quickest so far after his truck testing did not go so hot for Monster Motorsports. And one guy just jumped their way into the top 10 Never mind. Colton Lane is in the 05, not the 60 here. Tip Foster, 11th quickest. Kev Shearer, 12th quickest. 13th right now is Dusty Neal. Not really a super speedway guy, more of a short track ace, but running very well for CFRO. It looks like their plate program might be going off this year, as their only career win in the NSDCA Crown Royal Truck Series came at a super speedway with Logan Bradley just 2 years ago. 14th quickest, Eric Monaco. Even after that engine problem, he is back up on top of the charts in 14th. Stephen Wallace Jr. 15th. 16th is the 82 of Jacob Edson. 17th, Brady Burkhart. 18th is Austin Murray. 19th, Carson Bowers. And 20th, currently, Larry Hagan. And let's go find Larry real quick. Just want to talk about how that 21 team has been doing. If I can even find him. Where is he on track? I'm going to go ahead and try to find Larry here. Okay, he was at the back of this big pack, hidden behind all of the other cars. But Larry Hagan, it's sad to say, but this team just has not been clicking it in the offseason. We thought that a move to TSR last season would pay great dividends. Yes, he got a win. He finished top 10 in the points, and now he's moving into his sophomore year at TSR. But is he still rushed into this Cup car? His testing performance has been abysmal, to say the least. I don't think he's been inside the top 10 once in testing at all, and he's been near the bottom of testing, just like Gatlin Downey. So those two not really hitting it off with these Cup cars. Larry has fallen now back to 21st, as Tony Zhang's number 75 of Noah Kim has moved up into the top 20. But Larry, just no speed in that 21 team. They're doing everything they can, but I really don't know if he's going to be able to perform up to what we thought he would this year. I thought he'd at least make the chase, be a championship contender possibly for TSR, but right now it's just been lacking in speed and pace in these tests. No speed, no times on the board to really show for Larry Hagan. Top 4 now there in this pack going single file, as you see Austin Johnson, Bobo Jones up it here, DJ Curtis, Matthew Eves, the fastest on track. So Eves, he hasn't pit. He's just out here running as long as he can on these tires and fuel just to run in this pack. I think he's just laughing in the pack, or laughing in the car, because it's just so entertaining to drive in these pack races, especially even in testing, as we got another pack that's formed. I believe 11 cars here as they go 3 wide. Yepes and Murray telling Dwayne Rockefeller, don't be scared of that 3 wide racing here at Daytona. You're going to be seeing that a lot. Yepes there in that 77, actually going to lose some time on the inside. Rockefeller uses that middle line to pull himself right on ahead. The second pack now, Larry Hagan must have heard what I was saying because he wants some speed now. 3 wide to the inside of the 51 of Austin Johnson and Matthew Eves in the 47. Nicky Morris and Bobo Jones trying to help Larry get a fast time as the 20 of Porta almost ran into the back of him. Brady Burkhardt has made his way into the top 20, I think, or if not, Noah Kim has moved his way inside the top 20. We might have had a swap in the lap times there. And no, Larry's still only 25th quickest. We'll take a look at this pack as we talk about the rest of the drivers. 21st quickest sits Austin Murray. 22nd quickest Carter Friesen. 23rd is Anderson Reed in that Reed Racing #1. Don't know why out of anything he sold the MDCS cars and just didn't give up on the Cup prospects. 24th quickest is the 25 of Carson Bowers. 25th is now Larry Hagan. 26th Jeffrey Finguy. He must have got a little bit more speed now that he's in a pack. 27th quickest Brandon Morris. 28th quickest Nicky Morris, no relation. 29th quickest is Matty Porta, not having a very good run here for Sauber Racing Team in this testing session. Does not look like SRT has those plate tracks figured out. Talladega with Porta was very strong last year, but other than that, nothing really to show at Daytona. 29th quickest, as we said, is Porta, and 30th quickest is Mikey Yamakaze. 31st quickest, Austin Johnson. No surprise there in that JP performance car. 32nd quickest is a part-time entry for TSR. Riley Spurleytube in that. 33rd quickest is Aiden Smith, who is currently right here, 33rd. I don't think he's a super speedway guy either. As Jay Jefferson's in the wall. His car is not acting well. I think he has moved up in lap time, so we'll go see where Jay is. 34th quickest, Aiden Smith, and 35th quickest, slowest on track right now, Sebastian Kukulon in the 12. Jay Jefferson has moved his way up to 25th quickest. Nothing really to show right now in super speedway testing, but this isn't where his speed is. His speed is on the speedways. But he did win Talladega last year in the Crown Royal Truck Series, so he does have speed. He does know how to work these super speedways, just not currently out here in this testing session, as he had the opportunity to show his drafting pace. And Eli Brighton, that #8. One-off entry, the nice Poppy Bank scheme will be on that #8 as this season goes on in the Sundrop 500. SBR leading that pack. We've got a 5-car pack back here, all must be trying to get their fastest laps they can because they're all single file. You'd think they'd be battling, especially with competitive drivers like Jacob Edson and Tib Foster. They could be making some moves trying to lead that pack instead because that's where they want to be in the SD 500, but they're staying single file down into the corner. Nope, Tib and Edson, there they go. They're going to jump to the inside and force Monaco 3 wide. So both of them, as you see, they got aggressive, and Foster's going to try to take that spot away and take the lead of this draft train as Edson drops back to second once again. Now Foster goes up, blocks Monaco, trying to get that lap. Let's see if Tib can put down a faster lap now that he had some slingshot action. No, he does not, but still 13th quickest for Anjado. No other mechanical failures have happened so far in this testing session. Maybe these guys up here now single file. They could be caught up by these guys, make a mega pack in this testing session. But up front, they're single file. Now all of them snaking down the back straightaway. I don't know if they're trying to break draft or what, but currently the whole group here single filed out. Kukulon's going to ruin that heading into the corner as Morris gets shoved out by the 12 of Kukulon. Slowest car on track, and he just ran his fastest lap, which was still the slowest on track. So we'll see how this lap will compare now that he has a bunch of cars in a line here, getting that drafting effect real. And as they come across the line, it's going to be an improvement. 23rd quickest for Sebastian Kukulon. Nice improvement there for that 12 team. We got multiple packs here formed up, though. That's entertaining to see as Jose Perez continues to be third. So HBP really hitting their stride on the big tracks, and for an underfunded team, I don't know where the power has came from at Texas World and Daytona to be in the top 5 in both of them, but they are really hitting their marks, doing great currently out here as Larry Hagan's going to bring that 21 down pit road there for Texas Star Racing. Moving to last now is Aiden Smith. No surprise there with the rushed up Molson modified driver. He's supposed to be, I think, a road course and super speedway ace, or maybe it's road course and short track instead. Forgive me, I don't know everyone's stats off the top of my head, but he is 35th quickest, abysmal right now for Monster Motorsports. Already 6/10 off the pace of Matthew Eves, and he has been in this front pack, in this pack right here, getting the draft for a long time, so does not look like he has any speed. Talking so much, I've almost thrown out my voice, so that's great before Speed Weeks. 5 guys going to be getting single filed out up here behind Diego Yepes in that 77. Yepes, do not forget, he put on an absolute dominant performance in the Crown Royal 300 just 2 years ago. Before that 94 back there, not Dusty Neal, but Logan Bradley dove under him with the help of Zachary Fitzwater, passed him, and won the race. So Diego had those super speedway dreams in his head, wanted to win the Crown Royal 300, and just came up short from taking the top spot in the closing laps. Logan Bradley went around him and went on to win. It was a great move and a feel-good story for CFRO as they continue around. Dwayne Rockefeller still inside this top 10, but it looks like, just like last year in the Crown Royal Truck Series, these guys have gotten a lot more single-filed out. The packs are a bit more spread out, and you can hold your position single-file a lot. Look at these guys back here staying single-file. There's a couple battles with Kukulon and Reed now, and wow, Kukulon and Reed are really slow coming through that corner on the outside, but you can see it's a lot more single-file racing, just taking their time. I don't know if that's going to happen in the race or if that's just because they're testing and don't want to tear up equipment that they could be using at Daytona if they run well enough, but big packs formed here, 2 and 3 wide action back here with Monster Motorsports, and possibly if they catch up to that 27, they could be 3 wide. As the 05 Elaine drops back on the inside, Curtis up the middle has some draft, going to pull away from that 05. Porta back there in that 20. Again, Sauber Racing Team just does not have the super speedway speed that they had last year in the trucks for Talladega. Matthew Eves back on top. He is right now leading this group as they come down. Just 4 minutes left in the testing session. This whole group's going to get single file coming across the line. Don't know what they're trying to do, but maybe they're just going to try to ride a lap out single file, see how it works as they all continue single file down into turn number 1. Matthew Eves, the fastest car on track, and HBP, 4th fastest car on track. Currently up there is Zachary DeLello in the 57 has just set a 2nd fastest lap time on the grid. There he is in that 57. Or maybe he didn't just set it, but he has set it. He's now 2nd quickest, so be warned. Zachary DeLello is a super speedway driver, it seems, here in the NSDCA. Put down a top 5 lap in the CRTS testing. 2nd quickest now, and of course, your defending Crown Royal 300 winner. Noah Kim, 18th quickest. Fantastic for Tony Zhang Motorsports in their first NSDCA event here in this testing session. No upgrades on the car. It's going to be struggling this season, especially without any owner's points to fall back on in case we do end up having more than 40 entries at any point this season. But that 75 team not doing too bad right now with Noah Kim behind the wheel, 18th quickest so far. Coming to the end of testing, 3.5 minutes, just under 3.5 minutes left as the packs are starting to dissolve. These guys starting to get single filed out now, so maybe they're trying to go for some faster laps, but I think with Dwayne Rockefeller being the top one, I don't think that's going to be a very strong train. As well, Dusty Neal just left and the hole closed up, so that's bad for Shearer and Murray, as they're going to be stuck on the outside, and that's bad for their lap times. Jay Jefferson still only 31st fastest, so not doing too hot. Finn Guy's going to jump down and take his car to pit road. Must not want to tear it up in case this pack starts getting chaotic up here as they continue on around. Don't forget the super speedways have never had pit stops. And that will probably be the same thing as well. They run higher fuel. Tanks, bigger fuel tanks, so that the drivers can make the entire distance. Now, with the Sundrop 500 being a very long race, it could be interesting to see if they could even make a fuel tank big enough to run maybe 100+ miles here at Daytona. Tires usually are not a factor. The tires are pretty clean usually. You're just staying flat out and turning not very sharply, so the tires can last that long, but the fuel, that'll be the thing that could decide if we will be finally seeing pit stops in the super speedway races, which could be a disaster on breaking up packs because we have not seen cautions last year in the CR300, and we have not seen any incidents outside of that 72 blowing up in the Sundrop 500 testing session. But with a minute left in practice, we'll go ahead and take another look at your top 10. Matthew Eves is probably going to end this session with the fastest lap time of 44.8. So the cars are about 2/10 off of what the trucks will be running here in the pack. 2nd quickest is Zachary DeLello. 3rd quickest Diego Yepes. 4th quickest the 06 of Jose Perez. 5th quickest is the 83 of Ryan Butcher. Riley Spurley Tube 6th. Tip Foster 7th. Eli Bright currently 8th. DJ Curtis 9th, and Dwayne Rockefeller, that's going to be big for his Molson Modified career, or DPDS career, I forget which series he's in. He's 10th quickest, could be getting himself an EUP. 11th quickest, Casey Mears. 12th quickest, Brandon Morris. 13th, Bobo Jones. 14th, Colton Lane. 15th, Jacob Edson. 16th is Dusty Neal. 17th, Peter Onjak. 18th, Noah Kim, and that's 75. 19th, Carter Friesen. And 20th, Brady Burkhart. 21st quickest is Kev Shearer. 22nd quickest, Eric Monaco. 23rd, Stephen Wallace Jr. 24th, Jay Jefferson. And 25th, Matty Porta. 26th, Austin Johnson. 27th, Sebastian Kukulon. 28th, Aiden Smith. 29th, Austin Murray, and 30th, Anderson Reed. Your bottom 5 being Carson Bowers, 31st, as Peter Onjak rides the wall. 32nd, Jeffrey Finguy. 33rd, the 21 of Larry Hagan. 34th, Mikey Yamakaze. And 35th and slowest, Nicky Morris for JRL Racing. 30 seconds left in this testing session. We're right at the end of it, so we're probably going to be signing off from Daytona here just in a little bit. We thank you guys for tuning in all off-season long for testing, and now all that is left is qualifying and races for Speed Weeks. We are getting into Speed Weeks now. These drivers have a week or two to cool down, to test, to go back to the simulators, run around, and enjoy their off-season for the last 2 weeks, because in just a few weeks' time here, at least in Universe, they will be heading back to Daytona and Homestead for their testing sessions, or for their practice sessions, their qualifying, their duels, their heats, and we are ready for the biggest weekend of the season with 3 Daytona races, the Valvoline 200, Crown Royal 300, and Sundrop 500, a week after the 2 big Homestead races here in the DPDS and MMS. Going to the end, it will be Matthew Eves finishing on top of the charts. Great performance out of CFRO as he ran in that pack pretty much the whole race. Eric Monaco's number 72, or Alex Fletcher's number 72, the only casualty of this testing session as the engine blew up and he went on into the outside wall. Got a little bit of damage there. Heartbreak for Smart Motorsports, but they had to do it so Alex Fletcher could even run their super speedway races. We thank you guys for tuning in again all off-season long, and these tests have been very entertaining to watch. We've seen some flips. We've seen some crazy people get into the top 10, including 2 for HBP in a row at big, fast tracks. Anyway, signing off here from Daytona. We're ready for Speed Weeks. Hope you guys can join us as well. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA.